Okay, let's unpack this. Ever wondered what it takes to build a genuinely tranquil oasis right smack in the middle of a busy city? Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the Ashwood. It's a luxury freehold development, and it's nestled right in Kuala Lumpur's very prestigious U-Thant enclave. So our mission, really, in this deep dive, is to cut through the details of a pretty comprehensive report we've got on the Ashwood. We want to pull out the most important bits, the insights, specifically for you, whether you're, maybe eyeing a new home or looking for a savvy investment. So let's start with the basics, the location. The Ashwood sits in Taman U-Thant. You probably know it as Embassy Row. It's really quite low density, very green, a bit of a sanctuary actually, and remarkably close, just 1.8 kilometers to KLCC. The whole concept is designed as a tranquil haven. It's got a gross development value, a GDV, of RM 758 million, and it's on a 3.59 acre freehold plot. And maybe just quickly for listeners, freehold means you own the land itself forever. That's a big deal here, right, compared to leasehold.
Oh, absolutely. And what's really fascinating about this specific spot, this location, I mean, you've got 58 embassies within just a 4-kilometer radius.
Yeah.
That immediately signals, prestige, but it also means there's a built-in, quite stable demand from a high-quality expatriate and diplomatic community living and working right there. And the architecture itself, it's interesting, inspired by traditional Chinese mansions. With that central air well-designed, it really pushes that idea of breathable, open living. It's quite unique for a high-rise development, I think.
Yeah, definitely different. And it's even topped off with this illuminated lantern crown way up on levels 48 and 49. Gives it a real signature on the KL skyline.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the location setting the scene. But what about, living inside? What are the units and facilities actually like? So the Ashwood, it offers 354 freehold units. You've got simplex condos, spacious duplexes. But the thing that really jumped out at me and could be genuinely rare for you are these 12 exclusive multi-story villas. They're calling it a bungalow in the sky concept. What's the deal with those?
Well, it's not just a gimmick. It actually fills a pretty significant gap in the KLCC market.
Mm-hmm.
You see, affluent families, they often want the space and maybe the privacy of a landed house like a bungalow. But they also demand the security, the facilities, the sort of lock and leave convenience you get with a luxury condo.
Uh-huh.
So these villas, with layouts stretching from, 4,381 up to 3,407 square feet, they really bridge that gap.
Yeah.
And for investors listening, these are a scarce asset class, hard to find in the KLCC condo market. They could potentially command some premium rental yield simply because they're so unique.
Okay, villas aside, even the regular units sound spacious. And beyond the units themselves, there's this long list, 48 curated facilities. You've got the 50-meter infinity pool, a co-working lounge, even EV charging stations, which is becoming standard now. But did anything else really stand out as different or progressive?
Yes, actually. The dedicated possum park for pets and an actual pet grooming salon within the development. That is exceptionally rare in KL high-rises. It might seem small, but honestly, finding good, safe spaces for pets in condos here is a real challenge for owners. So this caters very specifically to a modern and definitely growing lifestyle need. It shows they're thinking about the details.
That's a great point. Really thoughtful amenities. Okay. But facilities are one thing, building it is another. Who's behind this project? It's Paramount Property. They're a public listed company, been around nearly 4 decades, known as the people's developer. And importantly, they just successfully handed over the atrium, which is right next door. So there's a strong track record, a precedent for delivery right there.
Exactly. And if you connect that to the bigger picture, Paramount's financial health looks really solid. They had their highest ever revenue, RM 1 billion, in 2023, met their sales target of RM 1.15 billion. What that means for you as a buyer or investor is it significantly lowers the completion risk. The risk of the project doesn't get finished. It really feels like a blue chip asset backed by a very stable, experienced developer. Price-wise, the report indicates starting from about RM 1.64 million for a 1,381 square foot unit. The price per square foot seems competitive, generally RM 1150 to RM 1,250. Oh, and maintenance is pegged at RM 0.39 per square foot.
Got it. So for the investors listening again, what does that look like in terms of potential returns?
Well, look, capital appreciation in a mature area like U-Thant is likely to be steady, but probably modest. Historically, comparables nearby saw around 2.86% year-on-year growth. But the projected net rental yield? That looks quite healthy. We're talking 3.5% to maybe 4.5%. And these aren't just speculative numbers. That consistent demand from the diplomatic community and expats often comes with corporate housing budgets that can sustain premium rents and provides a potentially very stable income stream compared to, say, typical local residential rentals.
Okay, stable returns, solid developer, but no deep dive is complete without looking at, well, the potential downsides or considerations. We know macro connectivity is great highways nearby, the Ampang Park LRT MRT station just 1.3 kilometers away, excellent. But what about getting in and out of the immediate area? Any hidden challenges there for residents?
That's a really crucial point, the last mile connectivity.
Yeah.
The charm of U-Thant is partly its quiet, somewhat narrow, leafy roads. But existing residents have raised concerns. They worry about how increased traffic from new developments, like the Ashwood, might impact those roads during peak hours. Even though the developer has done a traffic impact assessment, it's definitely something for you to consider for daily life. How will that feel day to day?
Right, a potential trade-off for the tranquility. On the flip side, thinking about daily life and long-term costs, the Ashwood is targeting Green RE certification. That's Malaysia's green building standard. It means things like using low-E glass, which they say could save up to 29% on aircon costs, rooftop solar panels, rainwater harvesting. It reflects a commitment to sustainability, which could also mean lower utility bills for you. Plus, there's the smart home system, digital locks, modern conveniences.
And a more practical point, especially for families thinking long term, the completion timeline. It's targeting 2028. Some sources even mention 2029. That's quite a long way off, maybe a 5-year horizon from now. That's a really crucial factor for planning things like school admissions, maybe needing temporary housing, just general life planning. It requires foresight.
Definitely something to factor in. So wrapping this up, what does it all mean for you? The Ashwood seems to offer this really rare blend. You get the space, the quiet, the sort of resort-like sanctuary feel, but it's combined with that undeniable prestige and the sheer convenience of a proper city center address. Looks like a top-tier lifestyle choice, or potentially a very stable, long-term, blue-chip kind of investment.
I agree. Those unique villa offerings, the comprehensive facilities, they clearly set it apart. But, for a place designed explicitly as a tranquil haven, maybe its biggest challenge, and also its greatest charm, is how it manages to balance that intended inner serenity with the, let's face it, bustling real-world dynamics right outside its gate, especially that potential traffic issue. So perhaps the final thought for you is, what stands out as the ultimate trade-off here, or maybe the ultimate triumph of creating such a unique urban oasis?